Good evening, guys. I'm firing up the grill. It is smoky. It is acrid. I have a plate full of crime cutlets here. Throwing my first cutlet on the grill here, and the smoke is acrid. A California man is accused of expiring a woman who was found burned in a trunk and was allegedly discovered last week at his home. Matthew Switalski, 37, has been arrested in connection to this for the 27-year-old elementary school teacher Veronica Aguilar's expiration. On December 20th at approximately 8:32 a.m., law enforcement was called to a block in the city of Quartz Hill near Lancaster. When enforcement arrived, the garage of the home was on fire, and that is Switalski's home. Firefighters reported to finding the teacher, Aguilar, in with that fire as well, reportedly in the trunk of the vehicle. She was a great school teacher, a graduate of UCLA, an amazing person all around, people have said. A neighbor had heard some screaming, opened the windows to investigate what was going on, didn't hear anything else, so did not bother to call at that point in time. Later on, when the fire started, of course, they called law enforcement, and the firefighters were the one to find Veronica. She had been living in a home that was owned by the suspect in the spring. And Switalski was arrested and charged with several counts of wrongdoing. And apparently there may have been a romantic relationship involved in there at the time. He is out right now on bond. That should leave an acrid taste in your throat. So my next crime cutlet that I'm putting on is burnt around the edges. It's definitely being on its way to going charred. A Texas man has been arrested for allegedly taking a woman without her permission. She was then held captive in his garage for 4 to 5 years. Lee Carter, 52, was arrested on Thursday, nearly 9 months after law enforcement responded to the Texas home where he owned or where he lived, and the victim was able to finally contact 911, according to county court records. He has also been identified as a local area entertainer who goes by the name of Viper. I got hand quotes there. The victim, identified as Bernice Lopez Rivera in a criminal complaint, claimed that she met Carter about 4 or 5 years ago when she was panhandling in Houston. He had allegedly gave her a dollar before offering to help her as she was expecting. Once he got her in a position at his home where he could take advantage of her, apparently he locked her in the garage, starting off years of things she didn't want to do, things she didn't want to ingest, things that she did not want to perform going on there. While responding to the April 911 call, authorities found the garage with a makeshift toilet and a mattress that was soiled and baby diapers. So apparently once she was able to get out, I don't know if she was able to get her child or what the thing is with the child that hasn't been released yet, but that could have been what happened. Once she got to the hospital, they did send her back to where she was being held captive, apparently. Now, whatever the machinations were for that, I don't know. A neighbor, Jedediah Bites, had also told authorities at the time that he had allegedly told him, that's Carter, Viper, that he had had residences around Texas where he kept women, and the women he kept, he kept them locked inside. And he felt they were extremely ungrateful because many times they would want more food or whatever it is he was giving them to ingest to keep them compliant. He also claimed that even though he suspected there were some potential wrong or illicit things going on, he really didn't follow up on it. You can't tell, I guess, when somebody's bragging or if it's actually the truth. And we're working our way through the platter here, throwing on another cutlet here. This one is really raw in the middle, and it is a juicy mess over here. It's just dripping acrid nastiness all over. Clifton Carmack, a former teacher at Lackwee High School, was allegedly um, taking advantage of a young man at the school. And then she was caught doing that very same thing. Apparently, it wasn't a secret as to what was going on. A witness told authorities they had learned about the relationship after the victim, alleged victim, showed them pictures of scratches on his back, like, hey, look at me, woohoo. And also claimed they had overheard conversations between the teacher and the student. And she was like, I'm out of state right now. I'm so sorry, but it is your birthday. So you let me know if I can send you some cash. Okay, I will. She faces charges on accusations that she, involved a very young person in illicit activities, especially after there was some evidence popping up to prove that. So she was taken away by authorities. Investigators found out that the father knew about it, but the father was like, hey, if I try to keep them apart, it's just going to drive them more together, maybe hoping it would run its course. But that did not work out in his favor because now he's in trouble too. So it's turning out to be a really juicy, acrid, nasty mess of a situation. And the next piece I have for you, it's going to burn up into a crispy piece of crime here. In December, a civil complaint filed by Jane Doe alleges that a man who worked at the Margaritaville Sea Cruise job was taking advantage of that to go into the room with a room key, which he did not give her after he supposedly spiked her drink and she couldn't stop what happened. There was a little bit of violence and illicit non-consensual things going on there. And she was like begging him. He didn't stop. He continued, I guess, to do it more than one time, and she ended up having a little human inside of her that she did not ask for. Put her in quite the predicament. So she ended up going to law authorities and complaining about it. And apparently, when he did what he did, he came into the room. As I said, he had a key, did what he did to her, and then went over to the roommate and proceeded to do some stuff. I don't know if she was asleep, awake, what the hell was going on there. But this lady had enough sense in her brain to record what was going on and provide more evidence as to what was happening in her cabin cruise room. So I don't know. Um, if the bartender's doing it, you know how they always tell you cover your glass. But there's a lot of things going on now. I think it may be worth it. You dip your nail in there if there's something in your drink, turns your nail a different color. There's little things that you drip in there and it turns a different color. It looks like almost like a Pepsi tab can opener, or maybe like how you scratch the tickets for scratch tickets. It's only that big. You can dip it in your drink. So there are ways to protect yourself that may give you a heads up if you're a drinker to take that route. And the last piece, this piece is so sizzling hot that as soon as it touches the barbecue, it just becomes a cindered mess of cutlet. An elderly South Carolina couple was found expired Saturday after authorities entered their home and discovered temperatures at their heater or in their heater had reached over 1,000 degrees. The couple was found in their bedroom. Apparently, they had had some problems with their light, pilot light or whatever. The kids came over, checked it out, went away. Then they hadn't heard anything from him, so they sent authorities over there to do a wellness check. Things didn't work out right. Temperature inside the home was over 120 degrees, according to the authorities. After deactivating the heaters, they then measured the temperature of the heater itself, and it measured over 1,000 degrees. So maybe after they got the pilot light lit up, they went to bed and things didn't work out well after that. The family did tell the authorities they noticed the hot water heater's pilot light was out, but they thought they had fixed it and then left. I don't know if that has anything to do with the heating unit or if there was something going on with the electricals in the house, but it's a very unfortunate situation. And with that, guys, you take care of yourself out there. That's my plate of crime for you tonight.